I watched a recent video from a YouTuber. Her channel's name is Traveling with Christine, and she has a lot of great travel videos. And one of her most recent videos was where to go if Trump, where to move abroad if Trump wins or if Trump is elected. And she did one for Kamala Harris as well. Where to move abroad if Kamala Harris is elected. And I mean, those are definitely great videos, and that got a lot of traction and all of that. And to me, one thing that I found very interesting is that how we can have those conversations and how unfair in a way. I don't know if that's the right word, but how unfair certain people get to have that conversation, and most people in the world don't get the opportunity to have those conversations. And that's a discussion that I've heard since I came to the US. Like, whenever there was discussions about, oh, if Obama gets elected, I'm going to leave the country. Oh, if who was after him? If Trump gets elected, I'm going to leave the US. If Biden gets elected, I'm going to. So that same conversation comes over and over again whenever there's an election, right? Or if even if it's state-wise, people are like, oh, I'm going to leave Texas, or I'm going to leave New York, I'm going to leave California, whatever, right? And so, as an immigrant to this country, I I had before I became a U.S. citizen, I had one of the one of the least powerful passports in the world, one of the least powerful. And to me, as it would, so that comes with a lot of difficulties, and a lot of I'm not gonna say humiliation, but more like I'm gonna say difficulties, okay? Because I had never been to a country, I have never entered a country just because of my passport without asking for a visa. So without asking for authorization to come visit that country, even if it was for just one day, even if it was a transit. When I came to the US, I came from Morocco, Germany. I think my transit was an hour or two, and then to Texas. I had to ask for a visa, a transit visa, to spend 2 hours in Germany. I wasn't going to leave the airport, but just because I was coming in, I had to apply for a visa, to a Schengen visa, to be able to land in Germany, right? And then obviously the American visa and all of that. And so any trip that you have to do, and so that in a way automatically limits the number of international trips that you can make, because you have to apply for a visa, and visas are not free. Some are in the hundreds, some are less than $100, but some of them are like more, are like $200 and more, right? And so that's just for one person. And if you're a big family, that's that same amount for the number of family members. And so it really limits, like I said, it really limits the number of places you can go to. And the least, the last thing you're going to have as a conversation is, if this happens, I'm going to move here. The privilege that comes with saying that is so vivid, and it's so, that's just the word we live in. It's the word we live in. And obviously now I'm on the other side, and every time I even think about leaving the US, in the back of my mind, I'm like, it's a little bit of a survival guilt that I feel, because I know that my fellow Congolese, or even fellow Moroccans where I grew up, we cannot even utter those words, that because of how things are, I can decide to get up and go and move to a different country because I can. Because I can. I don't have to ask for any kind of permission. I don't have to stand in line in the hot sun outside of the embassies to ask for a visa, to be interviewed, and where everybody, like, I don't know if you've ever applied for a visa somewhere, but it's the most stressing experience. Is like, these are open booths, everybody can hear your conversation. Everybody can hear when you're getting rejected, or when you get your passport back, when they tell you come back in the afternoon to get your passport. You get to pay for these fees. You don't get reimbursed if you don't receive your visa. And there's a lot of stress associated with that, and a little bit of, I don't know if it's humiliation, but a little bit of that, right? And so to have to go through that and never having the opportunity or the privilege of saying, if this and I don't like it, if this happens and I don't like it, I can, or I want to, or these are the 10 places I can go to. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. I had never heard of that. I've never been in a position where I could even think of it. I didn't even know it existed, because I wasn't in that position. I was on the other side, right, of the wall. I was on the other side, right? I was coming from those countries, right? And so now on this side, I'm like, I enjoy that experience. Obviously, I enjoy that privilege. And one of the most stressful experiences that I've had too was when I traveled with my husband and then our toddlers, and they all had US passport, and I was the only one with a Congolese passport, and we're going to Europe. And I was like, oh my gosh, if something happens, I'm going to be separated from my family, and they're not going to take me, and the US embassy is going to take them and fly them out, and I'm going to be stuck here, right? And it's a lot of stress. There was a lot of stress associated with that. And so now that I hold a US passport, and I'm very grateful, first of all, and at the same time, I don't know what to do with that whole privilege. It's like, it bothers me because it's not fair. It's not fair that I can go to the Congo. I don't know if I can go visa free though. I don't know, but I can go to so many countries visa free when people who live in those countries cannot come here visa free, right? I can go to Morocco visa free, but Moroccans cannot come to the US visa free. It's not fair. That's the world we live in, and it bothers me. It bothers me. When you have privileges, you use them. So I'm not going to say that I'm not going to use that. I don't use my U.S. passport or anything like that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have applied for citizenship. But the whole conversation of these are the places you can go if you want to live for less than $1,000 a month, or if you like cold, or if you like hot, or if you have like hot weather, or if you like tall women, or if like whatever your flavor, whatever your mood, you can go anywhere in the world when you have a passport with privilege like the US passport or any European passport. And it's unfair. It's really unfair, because a lot of the places you can go to, or we can go to now, people in those countries cannot leave. They cannot leave those countries and just say, oh, because I feel like it. Oh, because when I feel like, no, it doesn't work that way. And it's sad. It's very, very, very sad. And so, yeah, one of the reasons why it's important for me to move to the continent is because I want to contribute to changing things, to give strength to our African nations, to give them the respect that they deserve, just like any country deserves respect. And when you have economic power, you have decision power, right? You have a word to say at the table. And so I everybody individually can contribute in a small way, right? I'm not going to change things just me by being an individual. I'm just going to bring a grain of salt to all the other grains of salt being added to the pot. And that's why it's very, very important to me to do that, because I've seen how it was on the other side, and it was bad. It's so unfair, so unfair. And now hearing those conversations, hearing those things, sentences, those titles, and those, it's, I don't have anything against those titles, obviously. What bothers me is that it's like that this is the reality, and it shouldn't be this way. It shouldn't be that way. We shouldn't, all of us should be able to say, because I feel like it, or because I want to study to a free college and I can just go. If you're in the US and you want to go to a free college, you can just go to Spain and go to college for free. That's something that I recommend in my book, by the way. But if I'm in Morocco and I want to go, it doesn't work the same, right? It doesn't work the same. The privilege is not there, and even less with a Congolese passport. And so my intention wasn't to make this a sad video, but more of a, it's something that I struggle with. It's something that I struggle with, and I don't know what to do with it. I don't know what to do with this sense of inequity, unfairness. It's like I said, it's a little bit of survivor guilt, quote unquote, because it's like, I don't know. When I see that I've been on both sides, it's, I don't know. I don't know what to say, but I hope this video just brought a little bit of awareness for those who didn't know about it. And it's not to shame anybody, because that's just the world we live in, and we take advantage of the systems that are in front of us, right? That systems that we're in, that we live in. So you have a US passport, use it. Please use it. Use your privilege to the fullest. You have a Congolese passport like I did. We hope that things change. We hope that things change soon, because it's not fair. It shouldn't be that way, but it's not fair, and it's not fair. And so let me know your thoughts in the comments. I would love to hear what you think about this whole thing. And again, I love watching those videos. I mean, I love watching those videos, but deep down I still have that thing in my stomach that wants to cry for Linda from 10 years ago and my fellow Africans today. So let me know your thoughts. All right, I'll be talking to you soon. Bye.